Yes, guys, welcome back to Cossyz 90 more. My name is Cossyz. How are you guys doing? It's another episode of the transfer news, and this time it is Liverpool in action. Yesterday we did talk about Manchester City, and I told you that the fact that they're losing Kun Aguero, for me, it's the biggest story around now, and I think City are going to have a lot to do in the summer to replace him. Now, still talking about big signings and big replacements, Manchester City is going to be followed by Liverpool in making a very big signing, and for me, Ibrahima Konate joining Liverpool is going to be one of those remarkable signings of the summer. There's so many reports about this, and I'm going to go through it slowly by slowly. Smash the like button before we go into this any further. Subscribe to the channel as well, and tell me what you think about Ibrahima Konate joining Liverpool. If you're a Liverpool fan, what do you think this will add to your club? If you're a rival like Arsenal fan or Chelsea fan, what do you think this is going to add to Liverpool and the transfer race next season? So I'll begin off with the transfer rumors like they've been unfolding. I'll start with Fabrizio Romano, because he had actually come out and said Liverpool is making Ibrahima Konate their lead transfer target in regards to having a centre back. Now, that story comes in after Liverpool have been struggling so much, with defensive issues. We all remember they went out in January, and I think they made the wrong moves in January. They signed players that they didn't need at the moment. Yeah, they signed Ozan Kabak, who I think is a very great player with a lot of potential, one for the future. They also signed another defender from the Championship, and then things never worked out. But for me, I thought that was not what Liverpool had to do. I think what Liverpool needed is an experienced centre-back. Even if they had gotten a Skodran Mustafi on loan or Socrates Papastapolis, well, I thought it would work for them. I just thought it would work for them. But what they did, they went out there, brought in inexperienced defenders. Probably they were looking at the future. That is what I suppose. And things never worked out well for them. And I do not blame them, actually. I think, because if you look at their business model in the past 5 years, it has been quite interesting. They bring in young players with a lot of potential and a big future. That is what they've been doing as Liverpool for the past 4 years. And take no mistake, they have a very great business model, and I love it as an Arsenal fan, because I admire it as an Arsenal fan. Because for us, we sign Willian, who's 30. We are signing players who are, 35 years of age on long contracts, and I'm asking myself what the hell is going on at this football club. So I think they messed up in January, and after some time, they have realized now, we can't win the league, we can't be second. It's going to be a tough run for Liverpool. If they can actually finish in the top 4, it's going to be a very, very tough task to ask of Liverpool. They're not going to win anything in Europe. And I think, it's going to be crazy, and they're going to be incredible scenes to see Liverpool out of the Champions League next season, out of the Europa League as well. And yet, they have been champions of the Premier League last season, and they also won the UEFA Champions League, 1 season back. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, they're signing Ibrahima Konate from RB Leipzig. Fabrizio Romano did say that what is standing between Leipzig and Liverpool and Konate was the release clause, because Liverpool never wanted to trigger the 45 million release clause of Konate, and Leipzig was saying, if you do not trigger the release clause, you're not going to actually get the player. It's more of the same situation around Timo Werner, because in the summer it was more of Timo Werner going to Liverpool than Chelsea. But then Liverpool failed to trigger that release clause, and Chelsea actually triggered the release clause, and Werner went to Chelsea. He would have been a Liverpool player. And I've been speaking much about this in my debates and talks with my friends, that it's another problem Liverpool have. If they had signed Timo Werner, add on the tally of goals, they would have been in a different situation, because they reached a point where their defense was not working, but they were not conceding so many goals. Their problem, I think, the biggest problem at Liverpool this season has been getting the goals for the later half of the season and scoring goals, because they are affected by the Diogo Jota injury. Sadio Mane is a little bit tired. Salah is not scoring, and Roberto Firmino is not one that's going to score you 25 goals in a season. Let us be realistic. They needed that person to score goals. They brought in Thiago. He can do the passes, he can do the chances, but who is going to do the goals? And for me, that was Timo Werner. They had gone in for the right option. They had gone in for the right player. They failed. I mean, they just failed themselves. But anyway, just talk about Konate. They have now. They have almost reached an agreement with RB Leipzig to sign Ibrahima Konate. Wonderful defender he is. Wonderful defender. And I'll do a technical analysis and see how they would actually line up with Ibrahima Konate and how they could actually be impacted by his coming, because he's a very, very young centre back, experienced. He's been playing in Europe. He's been playing in Germany. He's proven he's been playing in one of the best centre back partnerships in the world right now. Konate and Dayot Upamecano. Upamecano will be going to Bayern Munich, and Konate now will be going to Liverpool. And it's something that really is amazing for me, because I don't know why Liverpool never tried to sign Dayot Upamecano. I don't know why. I think for me he's the right man to replace Virgil van Dijk at any point in time. He's still young, he's strong, he's stable, he has a resale value, he has a big future, he's proven, he has leadership skills, he's fit for the Premier League. I don't know why they didn't try to sign Dayot Upamecano. I don't know whether they are afraid of the pricing or so on, but Konate is another good player. Konate is one player that is just perfect. And the only problem I think he's going to have as a player is he's still going to be under the shadow of Virgil van Dijk. That's the only problem. We might not see the beauty of Konate as a player, as a lead centre back. He's always going to be that second centre back, because he's been second to Dayot Upamecano at RB Leipzig, and it still is going to be second to Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool. But it's a great signing, very, very great signing. I think the woes and the cries of Liverpool defensive-wise are going to be sorted, because if you have Virgil van Dijk coming back and then Konate, that's going to be one of the best centre-back partnerships in world football. And I think then Liverpool will just need to look at how do we get the goals. I think if you sign Konate, you've done it all. You've answered. You've literally answered all the questions that have been around the defensive issues around Liverpool for the whole season, because he can play with Gomez, he can play with Matip, he can play with whoever player is there. And like I said, he's a very, very remarkably very, very good player. So go down in the comment box and tell me what you think about Liverpool signing Ibrahima Konate. Of course, he's a player that has been linked with Manchester United. I'm gonna do a story about United, a transfer latest update about United. But they've been linked with Sergio Aguero, and I want to do a story about it. But United have been linked with Konate, and their problem with with their defense is they have failed to get the right partner for Harry Maguire, because everybody feels and believes Maguire is a decent centre back. Maguire is a very good centre back. But why don't they get that centre back partner for Harry Maguire? It's the big question. And if they can actually come up, with an idea, any idea, with a Kalidou Koulibaly, who's been linked with Liverpool again, and I don't know why he's been linked with Liverpool. I don't see I don't see it as a story that could actually happen. Having Koulibaly, Konate, and Virgil van Dijk, I don't see it as a story that's going to happen. A transfer that's going to happen very soon. I don't treat it. But you never know. Transfers are transfers, and they always happen, don't they? Transfers are crazy things. They always happen at a time when you might actually suspect them least. But away from that, I don't think Liverpool is one team that really needs a lot of attention in the summer. They need a goal scorer, and there is Haaland, who is not in the price range of Liverpool. There is Harry Kane, who is still out of the price range of Liverpool. according to their business model. I'm not saying they do not have the money, and this is where I always fight with Arsenal fans. They always tell me, Cossyz, we have the money. Yes, we do have the money, but it is not our business model to spend millions and millions of money. So I think Liverpool will need to go out and look for a striker. Probably they will look at a Patson Daka, or or Olsen Edward kind of striker like that. I think that is the price range Liverpool will be working with. Yeah, and then getting Konate. I think, and actually, I think what I think is Liverpool just need to go back on the drawing board, get some, refreshing time for their players. They are still a brilliant squad. They are still a very, very good squad. If you look at the quality they have in the midfield, with players like Keita and Alcantara and Henderson, they're still a very, very great side. All they need to do for me is, can they can they actually get goal scorers? Because if you just imagine that Liverpool side, if you have a player like Robert Lewandowski, it changes everything. He turns everything around. If you have a player like Robert Lewandowski, what do you think? Use the comment box, but don't forget to smash the like button there. Do it, please. Don't forget that. And I'll be giving you content on a daily basis around all clubs. There's so many people who have advised me to start this channel, and I'm gonna say it's true. It's working well. It's working well for me. For the moment. Let's keep the subs going up. Let's keep the likes going up as well. Sign out. I'll be back with the United content.